KUAM TV 8, your broadcast home for the games of the 31st Olympiad. Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. Pacific Solar and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Legislation to help Guam's only public hospital goes up for a hearing. Nestor has details.
And more delays with renovations to our island's public schools.
And also, we've got a report on the fate of 2 high school students accused of making bomb threats earlier this year. Good evening, everybody. The public hearing is underway at this hour, addressing what Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. says is the immediate top priority of the Guam Memorial Hospital to pay off about $30 million in past due debts to its vendors.
But the health chairman concedes it's still only a short-term fix to financial woes that have plagued GMH for decades. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The bill refinances existing bonds to take advantage of lower interest rates, and the savings will be used to retire vendor payables. Rodriguez says he is moving fast to meet both refinancing deadlines and to head off what he says is quickly becoming a life and death situation at the hospital.
I talk to surgeons who share with me stories where they're in the operating room and they ask for a certain supply and it's not available. They have to make do with what they have. That's very dangerous, putting lives in danger.
Rodriguez will ask the speaker to call a special session this week, and he's confident he has the votes to pass his bill. Meanwhile, he and the governor have separate plans to address long-term solutions for the chronic crises at GMH. Their priorities overlap in some cases, but conflict in others. For example, Calvo wants to rebuild a new wing at GMH and compete against private providers for more profitable and better reimbursing outpatient services. Rodriguez has a 10-point plan that includes exploring a public-private partnership.
I want to be clear that this does not mean we're selling or fully privatizing the hospital. It means that we're partnering with the private sector, if there's even that interest. Because the model that the hospital has been using, obviously is not working.
One point no one seems to disagree on. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
GMH management, meanwhile, provided testimony at the hearing. A tearful GMH CFO, Benita Bengmonya, pleaded with senators to include provisions in the governor's proposal into Senator Rodriguez's legislation. Benita spoke about her personal experience with her husband and having to go off island so he could receive a kidney transplant. She spoke about the need to make improvements at GMH to help people who can't afford to seek treatment off island. Here's more from that hearing, which is still underway now.
People criticize GMH for not being able to handle its finances, but GMH has a difficult time because of the payer mix the people that we serve. When you look at 20% of the population don't have the ability to pay.
Meanwhile, Ken Leon Guerrero, who is leading the effort to place an initiative on the November ballot, testified in opposition to Bill 340.
Well, the governor's office is promoting an infographic on social media to help clarify misconceptions about the financial package being pursued for the hospital. Governor Calvo was asked to expand Senator Rodriguez's Bill 340 for a total of $170 million in bond proceeds. However, the proposal does not include $425 million in new debt or any new taxes, instead providing $30 million for vendor payables, $80 million for a renovated Z-wing, $20 million for information technology upgrades, $10 million for a new parking structure, $5 million for automated drug dispensing system, $10 million for roof and electrical panel upgrades, and $15 million as a cash cushion. You can see the infographic on the governor's Facebook page.
Yet another protest has been filed in the multi-million-dollar deal to rebuild and renovate our island's public school campuses by losing bidder Cortec International. The protest filed Friday afternoon is relative to the $100 million limits of the RFP. Phil Flores is the director of the Guam Educational Facilities Foundation, the company slated to win the award in May.
I don't know why that's an issue, because we bid on the same, responded to the same RFP that Cortec responded to, and they both have the $100 million in it. So is just frivolous. It's just an attempt to stall. And the only ones who are suffering at this are the members of the Simon Sanchez High School community.
You may recall in previous protests, Cortec attorney Joyce Tang was warned for, quote, frivolous claims and a possible ethical breach for improperly contacting a government official. Flores said further delays could cost GovGuam $23 million in interest because GEF's deal relies on low-interest USDA loans with rates that may fluctuate. GEF will hold a public hearing next week, Thursday, to discuss the proposed funding at Our Lady of Lourdes Church in Jigo at 6:30 p.m. Meanwhile, the next Office of Public Accountability hearing relative to Cortec's protest is scheduled for August 22nd.
Well, the Guam International Airport Authority, in other news, says DFS needs to get over it. The airport states that continuing litigation from DFS and media campaign is a disservice to the community. The agency contends at the heart of the matter is that DFS cannot accept the fact that Lotte Duty Free Guam submitted a better proposal for the specialty retail concession contract. Lotte won that contract 3 years ago. DFS held the exclusive contract for over 3 decades and, according to the airport, came in third in the procurement process. The issue has been out of courts over the past several years, with Airport Executive Director Chuck Atta taking issue with recent statements by DFS attorneys about legal fees. Atta defends Lotte is covering legal fees and costs for disputes because of an indemnification clause in their contract, adding that instead of DFS accepting the result in a business-like way, quote, they have taken the concept of a sore loser to a whole new level. There's a release that GIAA authored. You can read that on our website.
And while they haven't submitted any formal application to the Guam Land Use Commission just yet, the company behind a new proposed hotel and mall at the Guam Greyhound Raceway property may be looking at getting some tax breaks. Representatives from the Guam Economic Development Authority confirmed Bridge Capital LLC submitted a letter of interest over a special hotel qualifying certificate. The project is for the proposed Guam Pacific Plaza and Mall in Tamuning. Consultant Daniel Swavely tells KUAM the developers continue to conduct topographical and property line surveys before they submit an application to the GLUC. The developers have already reached out to the Tamuning Mayor's office to get feedback on the proposal.
A public hearing last month drew dozens of concerned residents, and tonight a roundtable is being held to further discuss Bill 318. That requires the approval of municipal planning councils for projects under review by the GLUC. Mayor's Council President and Gannett Heights Mayor Paul McDonald tells KUAM News that municipal leaders will continue to support the proposed legislation.
It's all about the people, you know, and if we do not put our 2 cents in, then the government is not working right. We should have a voice on any huge development that is going to go on in our community. And one good example is the Chalampagu development that's going on.
The bill was introduced following action taken by the Guam Land Use Commission on a high-rise development over in Pago Bay. Both the planning councils of Jotnia and Chalampagu opposed that project, with the Mayor's Council recently joining in on an appeal by adding their names to a request for judicial review against that effort.
Earlier this year, it was a problem island-wide. On a daily, thousands of students, teachers, businesses, patrons, and first responders were inundated with bomb threats. Here at KUAM, the rash of bomb threats prompted us to take action and even launch a news special called No Joke to start the conversation on the frustrations raised by the false alarms and to remind residents the harsh consequences of faking an emergency.
And as Crystal Paco reports on our next story, a pair of high schoolers who were arrested and charged in connection to 2 separate bomb threats have recently entered deferred pleas with the government.
A conviction for terroristic conduct should result in as many as 5 years behind bars and up to $5,000 in fines. But 2 male students got off lucky. 18-year-old Harris Joe Stephen had wrote a bomb threat, and although he admitted to not having the courage to leave it, his teacher discovered the note which stated a bomb would go off in the school's 1000 building. As outlined in his deferred plea, Stephen won't be sentenced to jail time, but instead is ordered to finish school and complete 100 hours of community service, half of which must be done at Southern High School. A similar deferred agreement was accepted for 19-year-old Roger Dean Barcelona. He's responsible for writing a bomb threat in the boys' bathroom at J.P. Torres Alternative School. When interviewed by police, he said it was only a joke. As outlined in his deferred plea, he must finish his high school education in addition to 416 hours of community service. His deal also orders he write apology letters to a school principal, the Guam Fire Department, and the Guam Police Department. If after 3 years both students have complied with the terms of their deals, both will have their records wiped clean. If either is expelled from school or convicted of any crime, then the deferred status of their plea agreements will be revoked. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
It is time to take a break, everybody. Please stay tuned. We're back after this.
Connected to the world at home from everywhere you are. Get the KUAM News app for the latest in local news, videos, sports, streaming, Isla 63 AM, weather, and more. Available for free now at the iTunes App Store or Google Play.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens,
it's a beautiful day.
we rely on the people we trust,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a beautiful,
who we can always count on,
beautiful day.
and to the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need
It's a beautiful day.
wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D, life in motion.
Hafaday Guam, I'm Tsunami McKenna. I'm Janessa Quick of the disaster team. Let's talk about earthquakes and tsunamis. So what is a tsunami? It's a series of traveling waves. Tsunamis are caused mostly by earthquakes and can happen within minutes and without warning. Tsunamis can be small or as tall as a coconut tree. Earthquakes and tsunamis can be quite scary, but the better prepared you are, the safer you'll be. In case of an earthquake, drop, cover, and hold on. After the shaking stops, quickly get to higher ground because a tsunami may be coming. Remember, the beach is a danger zone during tsunamis. Get away from the beach, go inland, or get to higher ground. Especially keep in mind to follow the tsunami evacuation route signs to a safe assembly area nearest you. Thanks, McKenna. Thanks, Janessa. The next step to being prepared is to meet with your family and make a family disaster plan. For more information, visit ghs.guam.gov.
Follow KUAM News on Twitter or become a fan on Facebook to get all your daily headlines from Guam's News Network.
Hafaday and welcome back. A two-month security guard is rushed to the hospital after being severely beaten by at least 4 men and 2 women while on duty early Monday morning. According to Guam Police Department spokesperson Captain Kim Santos, the guard was conducting a routine check when he was punched, kicked, and struck with a blunt object before the suspects fled the scene. The guard managed to flag down a jogger for help and was transported to GMH. If you have any information about this case, you are urged to call Guam Crime Stoppers. Their number is 477-4357.
A pair of men in other news arrested in connection to stolen firearms also got busted for drugs. Friday, police raided a home to discover a stolen pistol as well as suspected crystal methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, and pills. 26-year-old Raymond Valerio and 27-year-old Christian Manansala were arrested and charged with unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, theft of property, theft by receiving, drug possession with the intent to distribute, and possession of a firearm without an ID. Both were booked and confined.
Guam's only public 4-year degree granting institution has received another 8 years of accreditation. Issa Baza has more.
The University of Guam has been awarded an additional 8 years of accreditation by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, a huge improvement from 15 years ago when the university almost lost accreditation due to governance and financial issues. Senior Vice President Dr. Anita Borja Enriquez.
What regional accreditation signals to the rest of the universe, to our local community, our stakeholders, our regional communities, the global education community, is that the University of Guam has met high academic standards representing high quality and also demonstrated fiscal stewardship and public accountability.
WASC commended UOG on several areas, including its focus on regional needs, Good to Great initiative, strengthening of first-year retention rates to 74%, and fiscal stewardship in the face of financial challenges. President Dr. Robert Underwood.
With the allotment holdbacks, we have to be expert at how we deal with that. And it delays things. What it does is it really just forces us to delay everything.
As for recommendations, WASC noted UOG should continue focusing on improving graduation and completion rates.
We're looking at a 30% degree aggregate degree completion rate. Not taking into consideration, if you disaggregate the numbers, that you'll see a much higher completion rate by programs.
The reality is that we're an open admissions university. Everybody, we take everybody. So given where we're at and how we compare to other open admissions university, we're pretty much where most open admissions universities are.
Thanks to ongoing efforts to strengthen counseling and mentorship services, UOG has already seen a 3% improvement in these rates since 2010.
If you have 2 to 3 to 4% increase per year, you're really making dramatic progress. And so that's really what we're aiming at.
In line with WASC recommendations, UOG will expand research on degree completion and will launch a student mobile application this fall to help students better connect with counseling services, scholarships, and internship opportunities. The accreditation lasts until 2024, marking an unprecedented 16 years of continuous accreditation for the university. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Issa Baza.
And speaking of the home of the Tritons, tuition at the University of Guam is increasing by 5% this fall. Now, you might recall the rates also went up for the first time in 5 years back in the year 2015, last year. The increase is needed to maintain UOG's mission and protect the quality of educational programs in light of the rising costs of student education. Spokesperson Jonas Macapinlac says undergraduate tuition is now $210 per credit hour, while graduate tuition is $285 per credit hour.
Joe Sanchez takes over as the superintendent of education while John Fernandez is on administrative leave. Sanchez is the deputy super of curriculum and instructional improvement. He takes the lead amid the ongoing alleged sexual harassment and extortion scandal at DOE. Sanchez says his assignment from the board is very clear: to maintain the good work and progress at DOE and ensure that they continue to move forward in meeting the needs of students and families. He adds that DOE management and staff will work to support the ongoing local and federal investigations.
Media members from South Korea were on Guam today, learning more about the anti-ballistic missile battery station here on Guam. U.S. Air Force Tech Sergeant Farah Kaufman confirms that at the request of the Republic of Korea's Ministry of Defense, the U.S. DoD authorized Korean media from the MND Press Corps to visit the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense Missile Battery site on Guam. Congresswoman Madeline Bordado says she'll be speaking to the group to address any concerns they may have.
I've never heard that it's dangerous in any way, or so I'm anxious to be able to speak to the delegates from South Korea. But I think it's very much needed on Guam. We're certainly a target to those that are not our friends.
Tech Sergeant Kaufman says the purpose was to allow Korean media to observe how the missile system operates and demonstrate the safety of the system. The visit follows a recent agreement between Korea and the U.S. to deploy the system to the Korean peninsula, defending against North Korea's evolving ballistic missile threat. According to the Korean Times, the visit is also aimed to alleviate fears about the health risks associated with the missile defense system.
Stay tuned, sports is coming up next.
There's a reason why you keep going. When it's your own hard work that brought you to this point. You do everything to protect what you've earned. Because every move that brings you closer to your goals leaves you no excuse but to keep moving forward. This is what makes you an alpha.
The summer clearance event is on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Now's the time to save thousands on your next vehicle, like a new Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995, or a new Hyundai Sonata starting at $21,888. Save up to $5,000 off a new Hyundai Santa Fe. How about a new Jeep Cherokee starting at $27,995, or a new Chrysler 200 only $164 per paycheck? See our entire selection online at CarsPlusGuam.com. It's our summer clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
When you reserve a party at Chuck E. Cheese's, it's guaranteed to be a blast! Blast off! And now, birthdays are more of a blast than ever! Because for a limited time, tickets in the Ticket Blaster are worth double! A kid can be a kid.
Real people, steel people. From heroes to homeowners, they choose steel for power, service, and value. Right now, hardworking steel blowers start at just $159.95. And introducing the BR450 CEF Backpack Blower, the world's only backpack blower with electronic start. Start and stop with a flip of a switch. Find your steel dealer at steeldealers.com or search STIHL.
Is that a Buick?
So where are you? Using the built-in Wi-Fi in Tina's new Buick.
My grandpa used to drive a Buick. It doesn't look like a Buick.
No kidding. Okay, who wants smoothies?
That's not your grandpa.
Now get this 2016 Buick Encore starting at $24,995. Visit AutoSpot Buick today for great offers. We are your Buick dealer of Guam.
Happy day, Guam. Chris Barnett with sports here, and let's kick it off by going into the jungle.
FD Alumni Championship basketball from the newly renovated Jungle. Class of 2013 taking on class of 06 in the final. Now 2013 making their way into the finals after beating out class 98 to 2002. And 06 back in the big game after getting the win over 2014. Big man, Rob Leon Guerrero, trying to work his way inside, decides to kick the ball out to Paul Maglotnia, who buries the jumper, Pico Cemetery, at the top of the key for 06. 2013's Michael Sakazaki, all about that baseline. Fakes the handoff pass, turnaround pull-up J is good, go Glass. Julius Yu forcing the loose ball. Rob LG comes up with it here and passes it back to you, not you, him, with the take to the rim for the tough shot inside, Deuce. John Baza, oh, you fancy, with a Euro step here to get to the basket. The shot is off. The ball gets tipped out to teammate Quintaniza, who, like Dr. John, was at the right place at the right time. Julius Yu decides to take things into his own hands and goes to the rack on two defenders. 2013, keeping a game as time winded down on Adera. It's the wide open shot from the corner. Class of 06 crowned the champions, though, with the 54-50 win. Mike Scrow with a finish here at the basket for 2006. But it was all about the basketball brotherhood. Go Friars. The 2016 Rescue Relay featured a mock muster course used by firefighters set up at the Home Depot. The event giving members of the community a chance to experience what firefighters go through during training. 6-member teams consisting of 3 males, 3 female competitors all did their part in completing the very challenging course. The Western Pacific Island Association of Fire Chiefs provided a very unique experience for those who competed. Not only was it fun and enjoyable, it was also challenging, yet completely safe. Now, the family event was part of fundraising efforts with the proceeds going to Guam Foster Kids. The event was aimed at promoting health, wellness, and safety awareness. Tamuning Typhoons Youth Basketball Club continues to blaze the trail towards advancement in the sport of hoops. The club sending a 12-and-under team to play in the hosted Manila Guam Friendship Tour Games July 18th to 25th, coordinated by Kids Hoops coordinator Eva Celestino. Team mom Antoinette Palad saying the team is scheduled to visit with resident youths at the orphanage to donate personal sports items as part of their cultural learning experience. Now, after 9 weeks of training and competing in the Summer Jam tournament, the team is prepared to meet teams on the court that include LaSalle Green Hills, AMA University, Diliman Preparatory, Claret Catholic School, and Kids Hoops. Now, in addition to competing, the team is scheduled to attend a PBA Governor's Cup game between Tropang Talkentex and Morocco Bolts at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Mabuhay! Go to GuamBasketball.com for more info on the Typhoons traveling team program. Good luck. Bowling, Greg Borja defeating Ray SN 211-145 for the King of the Lanes monthly title. Borja qualifies for the year-end grand finals and boosts his overall ranking to 4th place. Ball Perez laid claim to his first title of the year behind a 208-168 performance over 5th seed Alan Aparacho in the Prince Finals. Now, the next Budweiser King and Prince of the Lanes held Sunday, August 21st at 11 in the morning at the Central Lanes Bowling Center in Tamuning.
All right, Guam, thanks for watching Anything Sports. Show at KUAM.com. That's our sports director, Dave Delgado, SHO. That's show like for show. And thanks for watching, and you do me a favor. You keep on shining, Guam. My name's Chris Barnett. Adios!
The island boy, they gotta be so shy. Say the island girl know how to have a good time. Said a cruise with me, baby, you'll be a pretty lady. Said a cruise with me, baby, I'll be a pretty lady by that good life. Let me show you a good time. Let me show you one.
The Nissan Summer Fun event is on. Nissan's got your back with the No Worries Car Care Plan. Your new Nissan comes with a free 3-year protection plan and free paint sealing. Enjoy discounts up to $10,000 during the Summer Fun event when you choose from the award-winning lineup of Nissan cars, trucks, and SUVs. Take advantage of super low, easy financing and save even more at Nissan Upper Tumon. Nissan Summer Fun event. Find out more at NissanGuam.com.
Catch the finger food craze that's taking over the world. Start with McDonald's delicious shareable chicken McNuggets, 20 for $5.99. And don't forget your favorite sauce. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism, it's Guam's #1 industry. And if you look around, you'll see how it's working for all of us. The money we make from tourism goes into projects that keep our island beautiful. From all our major roadways to our village streets, from our historic parks to our pools and beaches.
Tourism works.
Tourism works.
Tourism works. Tourism works for me.
Brought to you by GVB, Sidzu's Maasi for making Guam the best place to live, work, and visit.
While hundreds of homeless seek shelter every day, when memories fade like old photographs, and families struggle to care for loved ones with special needs, as young children are caught in the storm of abuse and neglect, we are there. For over 30 years, we have helped Guam's victims of life when there was nowhere else to turn. You can help too by giving $1 a month. God bless you.
Now, for the 72nd anniversary of our island's liberation, 2 people have been selected to serve as Grand Marshals for this year's parade, which happens on Thursday. Sitting at the grandstand will be Lucia McDonald and Gregorio Tenorio, both of whom are residents of Agana Heights. McDonald was born in 1926 and was 14 years old during the Japanese occupation. She was married to Charles McDonald and has 12 children, 41 grandchildren, and 39 great-grandchildren. Meanwhile, Tenorio was born in 1930 and was 11 during the Japanese occupation. He was married to Mary Payne Tenorio, and together they had 4 kids, 10 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren. Both will join one liberator, Eugene Bell, at the grandstand, with this year's liberation theme being Hatsa, the revitalization of our people and our land.
And before we close out the news tonight, here's your latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. And starting it off, happy birthday going out to Kaya Vene Flores celebrating her sweet 16 birthday from Flores Magnolia and the Blinds.
It is happy 40th birthday to Julie Nelson. We love and miss you plenty from your Guam family. You and I both had 40th birthdays kind of a while ago. Just
Yeah, sure.
contextualizing, yeah.
Okay. Happy 10th birthday to Isa Haani Gogui. Love the family.
Not too long ago, we might add. Zoe Jane Parrish Cruz, happy 5th birthday to you, Zoe. This comes from Mom, Dad, Brother Thomas J, and Sister Bobby Jo.
Happy birthday going out to Cassidy Megan Nabati Cruz, celebrating her 18th birthday. Welcome to adulthood, love, and blessing the familia.
Awesome. Renata Bordalio has a birthday today, and that's a lovely picture. Love baby Evan, Isa, Nina, Raphael, and your entire family.
Happy birthday going out to Zara, and happy belated birthday to Zaya. Love the family.
There are people all over YouTube jumping up and down right now because Jumel Baza has an 11th birthday, and your entire family says, hope you had a fantastic day.
And real quickly, happy belated birthday going out to Kiara Janelle Bernardo.
And even quicker than that, go to KUAM.com, register, then watch.
Stay tuned. Up next, our Liberation special for KUAM News Extra. Keep it here.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Hafide, and welcome to the show, everybody. We get started off with Nestor Lecanto, who has international news about a court ruling that affects the Philippines.
Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.
In a landmark decision, an international court ruled in favor of the Philippines in a dispute with China over control of its exclusive economic zone. The Permanent Court of Arbitration rejected Beijing's claim that it owns thousands of miles of surrounding waters in the hotly disputed South China Sea. Philippine Consul General for Guam, Marciano de Borja.
What the Philippines is saying is that all claimant countries, including China, they have a right to claim. But China's claim is so excessive because if you look at the map, what they claim to be their 9-dash line already encompasses about 90% of the whole South China Sea.
De Borja says long simmering tensions over territorial boundaries came to a head in 2012 when the Philippine Coast Guard intercepted a Chinese fishing vessel not far from Subic Bay, the sprawling former U.S. naval base. De Borja recalls that not only were the Chinese operating within what the Philippines claimed was its 200-mile EEZ, they were also harvesting endangered species. He says a Chinese naval vessel was dispatched in the midst of the standoff.
At that time, there was really tension, great tension. I remember that I was still in Manila. So the Philippines, of course, couldn't resort to the use of force or other means or military means because, we cannot really fight China. China is a military power and we recognize our weakness in the face of that situation.
So instead, the Philippine government decided to take the matter to international court in a filing under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea.
Initially, there were some hesitation to do it because it has never been done before. This is the first time that the case was brought to the court, to the attention of the UN, of course, under the convention. And of course, it was a test case. Coastal states, like the Philippines, are entitled to what we call the exclusive economic zone, which is equivalent to 200 nautical miles. Okay, so whereby the coastal state has the right to explore, to exploit the mineral or the resources within that zone.
He describes it as a 3-year-long battle between David and Goliath, but ultimately the International Tribunal agreed with Manila, and while the Philippine government welcomed the decision, it was careful not to antagonize China, urging all concerned to exercise restraint and sobriety.
The threat or the use of force in resolving conflict will not resolve. In fact, it will even contribute to the deterioration of peace and security, and we cannot afford that because it is a major ceiling. And of course, all the other countries developing, they have their trade and commerce and aviation pass through that.
And de Borja says the decision by no means settles all territorial disputes because there are overlapping claims involving several different sets of countries. But what it does, though, is firmly establish the rule of law.
What the Philippine government wanted was to clarify the maritime entitlements, okay, which is very different from a territorial dispute. It's not saying this is ours, this is yours, this, because it's a very complicated issue. It's not just between the Philippines and China, but also the other claimants like Taiwan, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and even Indonesia. In this case, we may say that it is right prevailing over might. Because countries, whether big or small, will have an equal share of or fair chance of pursuing its interests.
Beijing refused to participate in the arbitration and so far has rejected the International Tribunal's decision and authority. But China now finds itself in a much bigger court, the court of world opinion.
If China wants to be seen as and be respected as a regional rising power, even a superpower, it has to be seen as someone that is adhering to international practice, international law, and that it's there to respect other countries' rights and other countries' sovereignty. But by filing this case and then getting this result, of course, it's favorable to the Philippines. Well, we'll be able to, as a country, we'll be able to determine what will be our priorities, what will be our approach, and what will be its long-term effect, not just to Philippine national security, but also to the economy and, of course, the overall peace and stability of the region.
For KUAM's Business Matters, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Business Matters, presented by the Guamanian Magazine.
Well, please stay tuned, everybody, because when we come back, we introduce you to the Liberation Day Queens, the Thursday Parade.
People love my portobello mushroom buttery jack, made with portobello mushrooms, grilled onions, and garlic herb butter. Ever wonder how I came up with it? Well, actually, I came up with it at the water cooler, but I thought you'd like this cowboy story better. The portobello mushroom buttery jack is back, part of the buttery jack family. Taste it before it's gone.
Watch the waves crash over bare feet as you stand back and feel the sun's heat radiating upon your face today. Summer's alive, that's why we feel this way. That's why we feel this way. Summertime in the summer heat, grab a lover and move your feet. We gon' make it hot for you, hot. Summer breeze in the summer nights, summer never felt so alive. We gon' make it hot for you, hot. Summertime in the island heat, grab a lover and move your feet. We gon' make it hot for you, hot.
Join us at the Guam Summer Beach Fest for live entertainment, food, and fun. For event details, check out visitguam.com. This is a GBB signature event.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Steak used to cost an arm and a leg. But now you can get new tender braised steak and melted cheese wrapped in a warm flatbread. Taco Bell steak flatbread sandwich. Eat it for them.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. If you recall, last week we had the lovely and the very honorable mayor of Dedido, Melissa Safaris, in studio, and we told her she was giving us information about the Liberation Day Parade, and we said, hey, we'll have you back and we'll talk more about it. I know what you guys are thinking. We always say that. We tell people to come back, and they rarely do. Well, We aim to please. So back in our Harmon studios is the mayor of Dededo, from right down the street, I might add.
That's right, Jason.
Your office up next to Santa Barbara. So welcome back, Mayor.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay, but of course you are in the capacity, you're the co-chairperson of the Liberation Day Parade, working really hard to make sure that the parade goes off without a hitch.
Yes, I'm assisting Bill Rages from Department of Parks and Recreation, who's down at the parade route right now, making sure that everything's clean and
equally
ready.
Working hard.
Right.
Okay,
yes.
so how have the parade preparations been to this point? Because we know volunteers are signing up, to clean up. We know that people are applying for permits so they
Yes.
can go along the parade route. We know that the floats are now being registered and, getting their correct order. And
Yeah,
everything.
so all the floats, we have a lot of floats entered from different government agencies, nonprofit organizations, villages, of course, and we have some business floats as well. And then we also have a lot of marching units, some cars that are being spruced up right now to get out on the parade route, and a lot of different organizations that just want to expose their services, what their organization is about. And so we're excited. Down at the parade route, we have DPW down this week. The last week we had the signing up for permits along the route. So a lot of people lined up and applied for permits to have a canopy down there along the beach side and along the Daog Strip side. So we look like, I know that we're going to have a full day's event starting actually Wednesday night. We'll have a lot of people down there already setting up their canopies. And so we're excited,
Now, for people that may not be setting up early and, being part of the event from, the wee hours of the morning, if people just want to go down there the day of, maybe take some pictures, bring the family or friends down if they got, a few hours to spare, where exactly on the parade route is GPD and DPW going to cut off traffic and everything, and where can we park?
What happens is at 6:30 in the morning, traffic will stop at Route 8 and 1, that's Marine Corps Drive, and the road going up to Purple Heart Memorial Highway. And so that's a corner of Padre Palomo Park and Auto City.
Right.
So that's where traffic, police will be.
Or the venue, probably, where people would probably know.
The venue. So there will be police officers there at 6:30 to stop traffic from going in and out of that area, those areas. And then it'll be stopped all the way through Adaloop, the intersection where Mobile gas station and Adaloop is at.
So if for some reason you're coming from, say, Big Navy, or you're coming from the southern end, you have to go around Maina if you want to go
up Maina, go up through Naval Hospital, and then out to through Bank of Guam or the Agania swimming pool.
Agania Heights or Sinani, or
correct.
Wherever you want to go.
Yes. And the same way, if you're coming north, I know it's a regular working day. Not everybody's off that day. And so people still need to get to work. If they work in the south or in PD, they would need to go after 6:30, go up Agania Heights and down Snake Road and out through Adaloop.
Now, you were intimately involved with the planning and execution of logistics for FestPac. And a lot of the feedback that we've been giving is people were saying, wow, it worked so smoothly with parking, and there were shuttles, and I knew where I could park, and there were designated parking areas. Are those plans also in place for the Liberation Parade? Or
no, parking in Agania, of course, we know government agencies are closed that day. So where there is government parking, I know the Superior Court parking lot behind the cathedral.
Possibly the Agania Pool.
Agania Pool.
Agania Shopping Center.
I wouldn't really recommend Agania Shopping Center because it is a regular business day for them, unless they're going to go in there and actually do business. We don't want any vehicles towed from there.
Right.
But Agania Pool, it is definitely the area behind the old administration building. There is a lot of parking, a lot of street parking along Hagåtña. And so, we're just asking people, the J&G Commercial Plaza, which is where Mezcla's at, there are a lot of government agencies in there that will be closed for the day. So that would be another option. But
you'd be surprised on how good the parking is if you go down there if you look.
That's right. Down in Agania at Hagåtña, I always get corrected. Down in Hagåtña, actually on parade day, there is amazingly a lot of parking down there, just through the side streets and the old administration building parking lot. There, that whole building, the building is gone, so it's a perfect area for parking, and then along the roadways there.
And then if not, at most, it's a 10-minute walk from wherever you are? Because again, it's a real small place.
Yes.
Okay.
And so, of course, remember that the museum, that's only a one-way area, but that area is going to be closed specifically for VIP parking.
Okay.
Those that were on the, or who are going to be on the reviewing stand.
Okay, well, final thought before we go to commercial break. And what are the last action items that you have to check off your probably a mile-long to-do list before we roll into Thursday?
Well, of course, we're still working with Homeland Security, the police, and all the public safety personnel to make sure that all the entries have their placards that they need to get in. And we're DPW sprucing up, checking all the trees. We do have a tree trimming permit. So we're having those tree branches all assessed and make sure that the route is all clear and clean.
Okay, well, Mayor, we're very, very lucky to have someone who works as hard as you and cares so much to make sure that we have a wonderful Liberation Day parade. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And happy Liberation Day, and we'll see you down
Same
there.
to you. Okay.
All right, please stay tuned, everybody. We are back right after this.
At IT&D, we take a different approach when it comes to data. Introducing IT&D's new rate plans. We've increased the amount of 4G LTE data for our plans to give you more of what you want so you can do more of the things that you want. More snapping, more sharing, more connecting. Bring your own phone and get even more 4G LTE data and up to 3 months of free service. New plans, more data, more value. IT&D, life in motion.
Real people, steel people. From heroes to homeowners, they choose steel for power, service, and value. Right now, hardworking steel blowers start at just $159.95. And introducing the BR450 CEF Backpack Blower, the world's only backpack blower with electronic start. Start and stop with a flip of a switch. Find your steel dealer at steeldealers.com or search STIHL.
Ruby Tuesday now gives you more for lunch. Endless trips to the Fresh Garden Bar, plus add-ons, mini combinations, and even new meal options. It's the new lunchtime menu, available Monday to Friday until 2 p.m., only at Ruby Tuesday.
Hafide, and welcome back to the show, everybody. Of course, Thursday is Guam's Liberation Day, the 72nd celebration of our liberation. And we have two beautiful liberation queens here. On the left, without further ado, is our Seja Talon. Welcome. She is the Liberation Queen representing the Sons and Daughters Club of San Diego, California. I've been there. It's an absolutely wonderful organization. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. And of course, welcome to Inarahan's own, the very, very beautiful Alana Chargaloff. She is Guam's Liberation Queen. So ladies, Hafide. All right, I'm jealous. I'm the only one on the set without a tiara and a sash. So
You can have an extra one.
okay, very cool, very cool. We'll work that out.
Okay.
Okay, so what does it mean to you guys? First and foremost, Thursday's coming up. It's a very, very big event. You've got a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, epitomizing the very best of Chamorro culture and what it means to be Guamanian. Arceja, what does that mean to you?
Liberation Day, I feel, is like our culture, our heritage, where we come from, and it's just the history of what happened. And I believe that it's just an important event, and I'm so grateful to be here and to celebrate with everybody.
Now tell us about how strong the Chamorro spirit is in San Diego, where you're from, which has a huge Chamorro.
Oh my gosh, there's so many Chamorros in San Diego. It's like crazy. There's an event called PIFA. It's the Pacific Islander Festival Association, and literally like the whole entire crowd is like all Chamorro, and it's like crazy insane. We have a Guam club there. A lot of the old folks get together and do their little thing. It's so awesome. There's a lot of us.
Some of the best Pelegrin I've ever had in my life was at that Guam club.
It's so good.
Now, Alana, of course, you are you live here full time, and I must tell you, you practically blew up our Instagram feed, because when we said, Alana Chargaloff has been named Guam's Liberation Queen and everything like that, so many people liked the picture. Everybody was posting you, congratulatory messages and everything like that. We're very, very happy to have you as our queen. So what does it mean to you?
Liberation didn't really appeal to me as much as it does now, as opposed to when I was younger. And I really think it's a time to reflect on a piece of Guam's history that is so significant to how we are today, being, a territory of the United States. And I know that now it's pretty controversial about Guam just being an unincorporated territory. But we have to just look at the very fact that if it wasn't for that one day in our history, our paradise could be a completely different place. And I was told, that's common sense, but it's definitely not something to take for granted. And I mean, it's a day to always appreciate. And as for the festivities, I mean, when do we have a parade that big on Guam? And when do we see everyone come out, at such a magnitude? So, it's a time of gratitude and definitely a time to pray for peace, especially during a time of war.
Now, are you guys absolutely sure of which float you're going to be on? And have you guys practiced, the whole elbow wrist thing? Because you'll be doing that for about 4 straight hours, I would assume.
Yeah. I'll be riding the Sackman. The Sackman is from San Diego, and they brought it here for FestPack, actually. So my uncle Mario is actually, he called me up and was like, hey, do you want to ride the Sackman for your float? It'll be awesome. You're from San Diego. Sackman's from San Diego. Let's do it. And I was like, let's do it.
And it's a beautiful traditional canoe.
It is. It's awesome. It's huge.
How about you, Alana? Do you know which float you'll be riding?
I will be on the Inarajan float and then, of course, on the Queen's float.
Oh, very cool. So, and you two are related, as I understand. How closely?
We're first cousins, actually.
Oh, wow.
My mom and her dad are brothers and sisters.
That is amazing.
They're brother-sister. Yeah.
Now, what does it mean, more on a micro level, what does it mean for your family to have 2 queens, like, in the same royal court, if you will, and, to be representing Guam on the same Liberation Day? Because that is amazing.
I know they're very happy. They're extremely happy. And, they never cease to tell us how proud of us they are. And I think we have such a tight-knit family, and a family that is so grounded in our cultural values and traditions. And, I'm just so thankful about how close we are. I mean, majority of, because this side of the family for me, majority of them are in San Diego. So for me, we only have, what is it now, one of my dad's siblings here, and our grandfather, and we miss them all the time. So to do something like this is just something that I know I'm going to cherish for a long time. I mean, when is this going to happen again?
Well, certainly.
And I believe it's the first time this happened, like first cousins both winning.
Yeah, I think that is precedent setting. That's absolutely amazing. Well, congratulations to your family. I know the Chargalot family from down south. They're wonderful people. Certainly, we're very, very happy and honored and privileged to have you both as our queen. So, Your Majesty, we'll look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And happy Liberation Day.
Happy Liberation Day.
And synced in time. They must be first cousins. Who else could do that? All right, stay tuned, everybody. We are back right after this. That was awesome.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your 4th meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake. And I just, feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile. And it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident. And they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So, I mean, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
The summer clearance event is on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Now's the time to save thousands on your next vehicle, like a new Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995, or a new Hyundai Sonata starting at $21,888. Save up to $5,000 off a new Hyundai Santa Fe. How about a new Jeep Cherokee starting at $27,995, or a new Chrysler 200 only $164 per paycheck? See our entire selection online at CarsPlusGuam.com. It's our summer clearance event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Now, of course, Thursday is the Liberation Day Parade, the 72nd celebration of Guam. And Chris Barnett and his crew, which is basically us, are all going to go be there. The hat will probably be there, too, because that looks like it keeps you nice and cool.
Viva Liberation!
All right. Well, Chris, we have a ton of stuff going on for the Liberation Day Parade. We have fun and food planned for everybody.
Yeah, we do. Well, you know, Johnsonville Brats, I'm so grateful and really honored, because when I think of liberation, I think of Johnsonville Brats. And we had them out last year, 500 brats. I mean, it was like an impossible task, but somehow we were able to do it. And we're going to do it again. We're going to be barbecuing up 500 brats, you know, thanks to Johnsonville Quality Distributors and also Guam Bakery, because, hey, you got to have brats, you got to have buns. So we're going to have a bunch of that. You just stop by our canopy. We're going to be like across GCIC again. You know, grab a bite, you know, grab a pick, use that hashtag Johnsonville Guam. And you just come on, help us celebrate the 72nd Liberation.
And of course, there are many ways to prepare brats, including one that you've actually got here. Because one thing that a lot of people know about you is you are a impresario in the kitchen. You've got skills.
Yeah. The only
so
thing
what do we got here?
The only thing I love to do more than cooking is eating. And I really wanted to do something different with the, you know, the Johnsonville brats, because, you know, come Liberation, we're going to be eating them on the bun, which is, you know, really the most traditional and the best way to do it. So what I did here, kind of out of left field, is I made a Johnsonville brat quesadilla.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you got to squeeze the, you know, the meat out of the brat, just like that, Jason. You squeeze it out like that. And then you're going to pan fry that. Get some tortillas, you know, put them down a little butter so they're nice and brown. You know, slam down your cheese, slam down your brats, and then, you know, close them up and flip them over, get it nice and brown, as you can see here. And then, you know, I basically finished it with a nice sprinkling of dried donya on there and a little pickle mango for garnish. So.
Now, as far as like texture and flavor, because like a lot of people say, like if they think of brats, people that haven't had them before, and you know, everybody's going to, by the way, down at the parade, because we'll be passing them out like, you know, hotcakes.
Yeah. Brat cakes.
Yeah.
Brat cakes.
They're very nice.
Well, the great
done.
thing,
how does it actually taste when you put it within a quesadilla? Because a lot of people are used to chicken or steak.
Yeah. Well, you can't go wrong with meat and cheese. I mean, it's just a classic flavor combination. And the Johnsonville brats, they come in so many flavors. I mean, I use the Johnsonville, you know, Italian brat hot sausage for this because I like some of that heat. But, you know, they have a chorizo Johnsonville brat. They've got the sweet, they've got the mild, they've got all the Italian sausages. And they've also got the patties. Now, so Johnsonville brats, they're doing patties. So there's so many different ways that you can use that, you know, the brat. And really, I think it's a great taste here with, you know, what I did with the Italian, and it's the hot sausage. So there's a lot of heat. And I don't know.
Because you go pica.
I do.
Yeah.
I go pica and I don't stop. Everybody knows I love it hot.
That is actually unofficially your middle name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want you to try it and you tell me.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So while I'm doing this, what kind of cheese did you use?
I used some organic mozzarella because I'm so fancy, and some you know, sharp cheddar.
Yeah, that is really, really good. It's a nice meaty flavor, and it is very spicy.
Yeah,
but not too much, so I can't taste everything.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, how long in the oven did you have to cook this?
I cooked this on a griddle, Jay, and I can tell you don't know how to cook because you don't cook a quesadilla in the oven.
Yeah.
I cooked it on
if it's not a TV dinner, then, you know.
I cooked it on the hot griddle. I just put some butter down, and then I mean, even you could do this. You put the tortilla down on top of that butter, and when it starts to get brown on the bottom, you throw your cheese on top, you throw your brats, and you just kind of fold it over halfway and then flip it and brown the other side, and it's
that
so
is
easy.
good.
Hey, and it's not, you know, these make a, you know, great snack if you're, you know, having some beers, you know, watching the parade Liberation Day. Or if you don't want to make it too hot, kids love quesadillas. You know what I mean?
All right. So We will be live streaming.
Yeah.
Throughout the parade, we're going to have like 4 different live streams throughout the day. So tell us what's going on here.
Well, okay. I know that Crystal Paco is going to take us to the starting line of the 72nd Annual Liberation Day Parade to check out the floats as they make their way down Marine Corps Drive. And then we've got Isla 63's Jess Lujana, the Buzz, of course, checking in with the grandstand, some of the VIPs, the dignitaries. And I really have the best part of the stream team for Liberation Day. I get to go around to all the canopies and check out the food and the families, you know what I mean? So Wednesday, I'm not going to eat it all because I know Thursday, I'm going to be eating so much food, checking out that barbecue. And you know how it is on Guam, like if they offer you food and you don't take it, they get mad. So
we're literally going to have to bring you in here on a dolly on Friday.
Yeah, definitely. So I might even be mysteriously ill on Friday.
Okay, and of course, we start the day off. That is from 8 to 9:15 a.m. Sabrina will actually be down at the Assen Beach, where park rangers are actually going to explain the significance of that beach and what role it played in Guam's liberation. So we'll be streaming that. So make sure to check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/KUAM News throughout the day. Once again, starting at 8 a.m. and we are going until the afternoon. So happy liberation, my friend.
Hey, got it.
Yeah, good to be working with you. And hey, everybody, make sure you can go on, and this recipe will be on your Facebook page, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's on my Snapchat.
Follow Chris on Snapchat. Yeah. He's going to show you how to make this. It's absolutely delicious, all right? Happy liberation, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Biba, biba.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E